Female villains have actually proved key to Doctor Who's success. Although there aren't many to talk about, this retrospective will indeed take a look at female villains. Let us begin with the Queen of the Spiders. She killed the Third Doctor. Full stop. When the Third Doctor went to confront her on Metropolis 3, he suffered radiation poisoning. Although she may not seem threatening nowadays, I'm sure back in 1974 that she would have proved scary for the youngsters as well as the Doctor. Eldred was involved in Sarah Jane's final adventure, The Hand of Fear. In this story, Sarah Jane was possessed by the Hand, as suggested by the title of the story, before Eldred showed up to threaten humanity, but once again the day was saved by the Doctor and Sarah. It was just so sad that in this story Sarah Jane had to leave before she returned later on after a small argument with the Doctor. She later wanted to stay with the Fourth Doctor, but she could not because, as some Doctor Who fans may know, humans were not allowed to go to Gallifrey for the following story, The Deadly Assassin. Eldred remains a popular villain today with classic series fans. A figure of her would be very nice. Now let's skip ahead into the 1980s. Yes, I may have missed a few monsters and villains out who are female from the 1970s, but I think it would have took all day. First of all, let's take a look at Margaret Thatcher. What? Why are you all looking confused? Oh, okay, let's not bring politics into this. Let's talk about the Rani, who first appeared in The Mark of the Rani during the Sixth Doctor's era. Now, the Rani is something you either love or hate. Played by Kate O'Mara of Dynasty fame, this villain was created by the writers Pip and Jane Baker to make way for a female villain who would be a match against the Doctor. The Rani was a scientific genius, but was also evil. Now, that reminds me of someone. Oh yeah, the Master. That leads on to the argument that Rani is just basically a female master. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. But besides the point, at this time, Doctor Who needed a female villain, and I think the Rani was a welcome addition to the long history of villains in the show. It's just a shame, however, that her stories weren't that good, which is why some may not like her. But I don't think it's Kate O'Mara's fault. I think it was just the woeful writing for the time. The Rani apparently was supposed to return in the abandoned season 23 Doctor Who story Yellow Fever and How to Cure It. Not much is known about this story, but apparently the Autons would have been involved as well. Damn you, Michael Grade! The Rani turned up in season 24's Time and the Rani, which was just terrible to be honest. She made her last appearance to date in the non-canon Dimensions in Time in 1993. Again, just terrible. I think it was a real shame that the Rani didn't get such good stories, but I think she was a good female villain. Whenever fans think of female Doctor Who villains, the first we would think of would be the Rani. Now, in the new series, we have had our first share of female villains such as Lady Cassandra, the Plasmavore, witches, and in Series 4 we got Miss Foster, who may have been annoying, but I think she was played wonderfully by Sarah Lancashire. And let's not forget the giant Rachnos creature, played by Sarah Parrish. Now, to be honest, I didn't really like the Rachnos, but the design was so impressive. It's just a shame that the villain wasn't that good. I wish it was used in a better way. In Series 6, we were introduced to Madame Kavarian, played by Frances Barber, and she really was a good villain who you really wanted to hate, but again, the use of her, I feel, was kind of wasted, especially towards the end of the series, and so far we haven't seen her again. Modern day Doctor Who seems to have more female villains now than what the classic series had. And it makes sense, because in real life, there's no more male dominance, which personally I think is wrong. So why not have female villains in Doctor Who? Some of the best villains in the show's history are females, so it would not surprise me that the new villain in Series 8 will be just as good. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel for more Doctor Who retrospectives.